What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. Today's video, we're going to talk about how you can best handle constructive criticism. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every day at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe and join the notification squad and join us. And to my returning friends like Fly Captain 585, salute. Now, for most people, myself included, criticism, even when it's constructive, is one of the hardest things to accept. But one of the things I want you to realize that constructive criticism especially can be a valuable tool that we can use to improve as men. But just how do we do it? And how can we effectively not take it personally and use it as a tool? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. We're going over about 6 or 7 steps that you do when you're confronted with some constructive criticism. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the first thing you need to do when someone's offering criticism might be the hardest part. That's to do nothing. I know that may feel kind of counterintuitive, but here's what you need to do. When you get the criticism, stop, assess the situation, and more importantly, assess the source of the criticism. Remain calm and don't say a thing. Count to maybe 5 or 10 to make sure you're not overreacting or being defensive. Now, the second step is to remember the importance of criticism. Remember, criticism, no matter what the source, can be a valuable tool. It can help you in relationships, your work, your career skills, a lot of things. So again, before you react, remember, criticism can be a positive thing. Now, for our third step on how to best handle criticism, I gotta be honest and throw myself under the bus. It's the one I struggle with the most. That's to make sure you listen for understanding and not for your response. Now, here's how I mess up. Someone is coming with a criticism or any type of dialogue, and I'm waiting to pick it apart like a lawyer. Oh, that's wrong, that's wrong. Wait till I get my turn to talk. You don't want to do that. That doesn't lead to any productive dialogue. So what you want to do is stop, don't respond immediately, listen to them. And after they have their say, repeat it back to them and say, hey, did I get what you're trying to say to me? Did I understand? Then you move on to the next step. But make sure you don't do what the Style O.G would do at this point, which is look for holes in their argument that you can pick apart like a defense lawyer. That doesn't help. That doesn't lead to understanding and doesn't help us make productive use of constructive criticism. Now, a fourth step might be just as difficult, especially if you feel like the person is coming at you. You actually want to thank them for the criticism. Tell them you appreciate they took the time out to see what you're doing and give you something that can help improve you. Even if it's a troll or somewhat negative, you can a lot of times take some negative, because what happens a lot of times when people do criticize, even when it's a negative, you know there's a little bit of truth in it. So they're actually helping you even if that's not the intention. So stop, thank them for helping you with the constructive criticism. Now, for our fifth step, it's time to get a little deeper and ask questions so you can get a deep dive in what the criticism is. Here's what you need to do. Ask them, can you give me an example when you saw me exhibit this type of behavior? Or better yet, could you probably tell me, is this a one-time thing I do or is it a pattern? That way you can kind of get a feel on where they're coming from. Then once you know if it's a one-time thing or a pattern, you can kind of do a deeper dive and come up with concrete solutions. Last but not least, on our sixth and final step on how to handle criticism, ask them for a follow-up. Here's why this is important. You may be kind of emotional or defensive when you're getting the criticism. You want to both take some time to step away, process what happened, and make sure you had a clear understanding of where they're coming from. So you want to set up a meeting for the next time you can get together, bring up the issues again, see if you understood, articulate a probable solution, and thank them again. I hope you understand the value of constructive criticism. It can actually be used to improve ourselves as men, make us better in our work, relationships, all kinds of things. Especially if we take it, use it as a tool to improve. If you value it, it can be very productive. Okay, so there you have it. My best tips on how to best handle constructive criticism. Let us know in the comment section if you have advice on how to handle that criticism. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, hit that like button. It helps the channel to grow. And of course, tap that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos we release every day at 4 p.m. Eastern. And I'll meet you here tomorrow.